Hi folks, back again. This is another redo, and it's what happened was I was almost finished with this the other day, and I ran out of memory. You know those little memory things you stick in your camera. So anyway, I want to do it again, so at least it has an ending or something. And this is number 45. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. I want to talk about passion. I've often said that we all need passion in our lives. Some of what the little dictionary has to say about passion. The emotions as distinguished from reason. An object of affection or enthusiasm. Actually, the way I sort of think of it is to have something you're interested in, and I don't like the word really or varies, a word we never need to even use, but I'll use it now. It's something that you're very interested in. In other words, a lot of us have hobbies, and some of us do, you know, like cross-stitching and knitting and sewing and things like that, but a lot of us do absolutely nothing. We go to work, we come home, we eat, we sit in front of the tube, and gosh, I didn't start the watch. Bear with me. Let me see here. And then we get up the next day and we you know, just repeat. A lot of us sit in front of the TV, and you know, every night spend 3, 4, 5, 6 hours or however many hours in front of the TV. But we have no passion. In other words, it's not something that on the way home we look forward to. Oh gosh, I'm gonna, you know, work on whatever this project is. Have you ever known these fellows who have train collections, and you go in their basement, the entire basement is covered, and they've got these, like a big giant platform, and they have chains zooming everywhere, and a lot of them actually put together all these little, you know, like plants and trees and mountains and lakes and train trestles and tunnels and all of this kind of stuff. And some of these fellows, this is a lifetime passion, if you will, and you know, they may do this 30 years or something, and it's this one thing they start out with, and they just keep adding and adding and adding and adding. Or people who build model airplanes, and it doesn't have to be something expensive. You know, maybe you've always had an interest in a particular time in our history, and maybe you want to start researching that or reading about that or whatever term you want to use. Hey, maybe when you got out of high school or got out of college, you may have said, gosh, I'd like to write a book someday. Well, hey, you know, now's the time. Get a tablet and a pencil and start scribbling away. The other thing is, you might just say, hey, what have I always had an interest in and I've never done? You know, and try a couple of things. It could also be something that you want to do in the community if there's any kind of volunteer work or something like that. But we all need passion. At least I think we do. In other words, we need something. Something beside the mundane, getting up, going to work, eating, sitting in front of the television, and so on and so forth. A buddy and I were just talking, and he remembered this article also. It was 25 or 30 years ago, maybe even 35 years ago, I'm not sure. And it was in a magazine called Road and Track. Yep, that's what it is. It's about cars. And primarily they, you know, the imported sporty kind of cars, or, well, actually they have just about everything in there, and then racing reports and all of that. But anyway, as I best remember, this fellow was making a model, a scale model, don't remember the scale, of a Ferrari car. And evidently he was machining most of it. In other words, most of these little parts on this little car, he was actually machining, making them. And as I remember the story, hey, this goes back a long time, he got to a certain point, and he wrote Ferrari, excuse me, and they evidently sent him some plans and things so he could finish this car. But I think he had been working on it for about 15 years. You know, I can sort of imagine, you know, this fellow coming home, you know, having dinner with his family or what have you, and then going